Hey everybody, my name is Caswell Cook and welcome to a really special edition of the Caswell Cook Show. And we're here today in New London, Connecticut at the Garde because it's a great, beautiful theater and it's just hasn't had enough use lately. You know, with this whole COVID thing that's going on, we're all kind of cooped up in our homes and we've just been like deprived of live entertainment. So we thought we would do something really cool tonight. We'd come over to the Garde right here in New London. We'd bring our good friend Billy Gilman over. We'll sing some songs, take some of your questions, have a little bit of an interview, and just have some fun because there's just not enough fun going on right now. Now, we're broadcasting on all kinds of platforms tonight. We're on all the Garde platforms. We're on the Caswell Cook Show. We're on Billy Gilman's page. We're also on the Musqueamicut Beach page and the Musqueamicut Drive-In because we're going to tell you what's going to happen at the Drive-In in a couple weeks. So there's a lot of cool things that we're going to talk about tonight, and we're really, really glad that you're here. And feel free to type in your questions underneath, and we're going to get to your questions later. So comments, questions, you know, everything. And you can even tell people what you think of my shirt. But right now, I'm going to turn it over for the first song of the night to the one, the only, Mr. Billy Gilman.
Talking about having a good time. Let's have a good time. All right, hope you're dancing in your living room, your kitchen, wherever you're watching. Welcome, everybody. Let's have some fun. Woo! Set fire in the middle of the night. Kids can't dance if it don't feel right. Sound coming from the grand theater. I can't stand a sad song no more. Let go, don't trust your mind. If your heart still beats, then your feet don't lie. You better find someone to tell when the sun goes down. Gonna ring that bell. It's going until the morning. Without a warning. Here we go. Dancing all night long. This just might be wrong, but don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Dancing all night long. I don't even know this song, but don't it feel good? Yeah, don't it feel good? It doesn't matter if you get it, but you should. Doesn't matter if you get it, got it good. Got it? Get it, got it good. Hey, clap them guys going down. Woo! Some say that the city's strange, but the neon lights are spelling out my name. They told us move along, well we can't stay here, but we won't go home. Let's keep this going until the morning without a warning. We're gone, yeah. Woo! Dancing all night long. This just might be wrong, but don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Dancing all night long. Don't even know this song, but don't it feel good, baby? Don't it feel good? It doesn't matter if you get it, but you should. Doesn't matter if you get it, got it good. Oh, everybody watching, I want you out there. All of you clapping your hands, help me out now. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good now? Don't it feel good? Feel good now, baby? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Dancing all night long. This just might be wrong, but don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Dancing all night long. I don't even know this song, but don't it feel good, baby? Don't it feel good? It doesn't matter if you get it, but you should. Oh yeah, doesn't matter if you get it, but you should. Doesn't matter if you get it, got it. Good. Woo! There's kind of an applause for the first time in 14 weeks.
That's. I was going to say it's the sound of one hand clapping, but
Okay, let me get ready here. Oh, wait a minute.
we measured. We measured. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's okay. Because when we came in, the seats were a little bit closer, and Billy said, I don't think that looks like 6 feet. But now it's 6 feet almost, right? Yeah. All right.
Well, how tall are you? You got to be way more than 6 feet.
I'm like 6'1" and 3/4. What about you?
So, Lay, your head should meet one stool and the feet should meet the other.
We're going to skip that, but, you know, it's great to have Billy on the show. I was admiring your pants as you were admiring my shirt.
They told me, do you need help? I'm like, no, they're made this way. Like, fixing them. I'm like, no, they're...
You know what they say in high school? They say you can't wear more rip than jean.
More rip? Oh, well, that's to be... You know, I beg to differ.
What did you wear in high school?
My
Were you-
pajamas, because I was homeschooled.
There you go. That's good. So here we are in New London, Connecticut, and when's the last time you were on a stage,
Oh,
like in front of an audience?
right. It was, hold on, March 1st. So not that long ago.
4
but
months.
It's been,
But to a singer, that's a lifetime.
it's a lifetime, you know?
'Cause how many shows were you doing a year since The Voice and since you got that whole? Well, we're going to talk about The Voice in a few minutes, but
Yeah.
how many shows a year were you doing?
Anywhere between, the first year we did about 70, and since then about between 30, and this year was slotted to do 60. So it got cut short, but safety is the bigger picture here. So
What do you? So now this whole COVID thing happened, and
Right.
we're everybody's stuck at home. And at first we were more stuck at home than we are now, because now it's like you can do certain things, but you can't do other things. You can go to a restaurant, we can walk in with a mask, but then sit and take our mask off. It's a strange world.
it is.
But what are you
crazy.
doing to keep connected to your fans? What are you doing every week?
Well, that's the coolest thing, because I was always kind of reluctant because I was so busy with, thinking up shows and what the audience will like in front of you. So I never really gave my social media the love it probably needed. I had no choice now with the lockdown. So the numbers have grown so amazingly that, I do a show every Friday. Sometimes it's different themes, as my fans on my page know, or maybe some that are watching on the other pages come on my page on Friday nights. So it's kept it fresh for me. All the charity events that I love to do throughout the year, maybe 80% of them flipped to virtual, which is cool. So I've been busy with that. It hasn't been slow. I mean, I've been moving and shaking just in front of a camera, in front of an audience.
But how does that feel? Like you were just moving and shaking. At least you were on a stage. Although in front, it's got to be weird to like have an empty theater. You almost think like maybe I don't have any fans anymore. 'Cause
Right. You forgot.
Yeah, you forgot. But this might be what it's like, if people forgot, but they don't forget. But how do you like keep that energy? Like you just sang that song, and it was amazing, and it was awesome. And from where we are on the stage here, we couldn't actually hear the music. We only heard Billy a cappella. But how do
That's
you?
lovely.
Where do you find that motivation to sing to a camera? Like, are you picturing people watching you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm in the living room and I call them quarantunes.
Quarantunes with a quarantini?
Oh, at least two. Vodka, preferably. I have gotten I wasn't sure how I felt the very first time, and then I got the amazing feedback from all the fans. It literally felt like you were in our living room, like you brought us in, even though it's thousands of miles away in front of a little lens. So that flipped my head, knowing that I'm touching something. Mm-hmm. I'm getting this across somehow, and that keeps it kind of interesting. And I don't choose to, like all of you watching, all the machines that are allowing you to see it, they're faced like you're taking a picture with people, not a selfie. When I do my virtual shows, I do it selfie style so I can see as best as I can, but the comments roll. So at least there's a little bit of a connection. But like when I did it just now, that's how we do music videos. Like from 5 a.m. till midnight, the same song over and over again, different angles, but an empty theater. So to me, that just felt like, okay, we're going to go into like music video mode.
Even though Ben, our producer, was telling us, he's like, when we first started, he said, we're going to wait till we get to at least 100. Oh, we're at 100. Let's keep going. So it means that people just all of a sudden they tune in. And so to them, when I sit there and watch some of these live concerts, you're just thinking to yourself, oh my God, that's got to be so cool to know that there's actually more people watching than would have been in this audience
In the room.
normally. That's got to be kind of weird, mind-blowing. Where's the farthest away that people are watching you? I mean, I know I was talking to some of your friends and they were talking about all over the world, but any strange, thing that you say, oh my God, someone's from Xanadu or something.
Xanadu, yeah, I think they roller skated across my screen. We get to Italy, we get the Philippines people, we get Australia, New Zealand, China. I mean, they're watching from all over. We haven't seen anything that really got interesting. See, when I do my shows, I have my manager and vocal coach of 20 years, and her husband, who is my tour manager for many, many years. They sit and narrate it. In case I forget while I'm singing and my eyes are closed and a great comment comes up, they'll write it down and go, this one just said this, or so-and-so said that. So we haven't really received any interesting country, just amazingly Switzerland, but that's not
Switzerland.
weird. That's kind of neat. Like I've
Right.
always wanted to go to Switzerland.
Right. Maybe you can get a watch.
Yeah, that's right.
Islands?
Anything interesting?
The Philippines, yeah.
Philippines has been pretty neat. So yeah, the response has been awesome. And like you said, those people would not be.
Billy Gilman disses fans and calls China and Switzerland normal.
I know, right? Well, I'm trying to think of like what would be interesting.
No.
Someone tuned in. I had been past this place, but I was like 7 months old on a tour bus, and yes, paying taxes. So I really didn't grasp reality, and we passed a place that said they were tuning in like 3 weeks ago, Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
That's great.
I thought I better not intercourse this up then.
So now, all right, we're talking about when you're 7 months old. So, well, that's how you got here. But so you and I did this interview. You were the first guest on my rebooted Caswell Cook show several months back.
Right.
Having not known that the world was going to completely change, we had like this normal interview. It was a
Right.
great interview, but and now we're having this like strange times cool interview that's right now. But so let's go back in time. Let's go back to when you were a kid. When did you start performing? When did you start realizing that you wanted to be on one of these things right here with an audience?
Funny enough, it was here. That's the
Okay.
quinky dink about this. Did you know that was that the reason we came here, or was it just coincidental?
Well, because I'm great friends with the Garde, and they
Right.
thought it'd be great, and to have us here, and to have something great happen. So there's a lot of coincidences about tonight, and one of them we're going to get to in a few minutes. But yeah, tell me about this coincidence.
Yeah, so I mean, literally, even going before this moment, there was no memory of singing. It was always just there. I mean, at 18 months old, my parents have me filmed humming the Jeopardy theme. Sometimes things choose you rather than you go and say, oh, I think I'm going to do that. It's just what was instilled. And I was 4 years old, and we went with a friend of my parents, and then my mom and dad, and we saw Ronnie Millsap, the legend.
Yeah.
And then, as I really started, I was 4. And then as we really started to figure it out, they took me back a year later, and I saw Pam Tillis. And Pam was the one that started it all. Like, she was the little green light for me, and I said, wow, this looks amazing, And then she went on a television special, and having seen her, my mother thought, oh, he'll love the celebration. It was for SeaWorld. Figuring as a kid I'd love, like, the dolphins and the whales. I was mesmerized by Pam and her blue guitar.
Wow.
So, yeah, so it kind of started here, It's
And
weird.
country.
And yeah, country.
And so so fast forward to your first album and your huge hits. But how did you?
Smart.
How did you record an album at a young age? Like obviously, were you thinking, okay, I want to make an album? Was it your manager? Was it your parents? Like, who said, let's make this happen?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother.
So as I got a little bit more adventurous and started to really vocalize at 5 and 6 years old, I would bring my little, what was like the
Fisher Price.
Thank you. Fisher Price karaoke machine. It had this little microphone with a little red top and probably distorted as you said, hello. It was that cheap. And I would sing at show and tell. So my grandmother, on my mom's side, realized that, okay, the other kids can't do what he's doing. This is kind of weird. And instead of going, just go to school, she kept bringing it out, which led to her having a meeting with Angela Bakari, who was at first my vocal coach and now still to this day a part of my team. So from meeting Angela...
And she's behind the camera.
Yeah. From meeting Angela, they're looking at the camera. Is my fly down? Okay.
You got more rip than Gene.
I got, well, as long as it's, okay. You're right down there. From meeting her, so when you listen to the radio, you're singing along to the voice, whatever the artist is. That's how I sang. And when I went to her house, I was 7, and she said, have you ever performed with just a karaoke track? And I said, what is that? And they said, where you sing alone. I said, well, not really. So she had a list of songs, and she said, can you pick one of these that you think you know all the way through? And the very first one was How Do I Live by Leanne Rimes. So after she heard what she could deal with here and knew that something was really kind of neat about this voice and whatever, she started to have meetings with people of the local area, agents, and I just started to slowly open up for people. I did like a little 30-minute track show, and then I'd go to school, and then I'd do it on the weekends, and I'd go to school, and then I'd do it on the weekend, So a few years of just kind of getting familiar and getting confident on the stage and knowing what to do, what not to do, learning the ropes. we had done a private party in Connecticut, and a fantastic, legendary saxophone player was with me on that event, Greg Piccolo.
A room full of blues.
A Room Full of Blues, and he heard me and said, "This is freaky." He asked Angela if she had any demo tapes, so we went into the studio. I recorded a demo. He sent it to his friend in Texas, who happened to be asleep at the wheel, Ray Benson, another huge country western band, if you're not familiar. And I was invited a few months after that to fly to Austin, Texas, and do my very first demo tape, and that was 9 years old. And yeah, it kind of just started to snowball from there. Ray had the connection he thought I needed, and I went to the Wild Horse Saloon. I thought I was only going to be a guest, but apparently he made it into a showcase, and all these people came back.
Wild Horse Saloon. They obviously didn't card you.
No, was swifted into the back and chained to the radiator. You stay here, little boy. They already knew I had a sense for vodka then.
Billy Gilman encourages young people to drink. I'm joking.
No.
These are the headlines that could come out. You see what I'm
You
saying?
gotta, he said, "Have fun." I'm being light here.
So when One Voice came out, like, what was the reaction? Like, was it quick, or was it like a slow burn?
It was quick, probably because. So we had finished. So I went to Nashville. The Hands It Be made it happen very fast. Within about a year, we were back to Nashville, figuring out songs and all of that. And then we were finishing the record, completely done, wrapping it up, flying back to Rhode Island, and they come flying into the studio. We have this idea, and it was One Voice. That originally wasn't supposed to be the very first single. It was supposed to be another song I have called Oklahoma. So I listened to it, I learned it. I didn't really care for it. I didn't understand, because this Oklahoma is such a gorgeous song about a story about a boy who meets his dad for the first time. So this song kind of threw me, but I said, Angela said, trust them. Let them do what they need to do. They know what they're doing. Well, it was inspired by Columbine, so there was already a nerve that was being hit. And here comes this little kid singing about, we need some help down here on Earth. It's kind of odd, And yeah, it kind of took attention within 6-7 months. It was number one, and then the record came out in September, and it was platinum by October.
So what grade were you in?
6th.
So how does life change in 6th grade? Like, what happens? Like, you get homeschooled? You can't go back to school because, like, it's crazy?
No, I was flunking. I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
So then everyone had the meeting that, he's got to be pulled out. And my parents, they loved that I do this. They loved that I did it. But they're such parents that they were like, oh, no, don't let him out of normality. Come on. But there was no way. So I had a tutor from 7th grade, because I ended 6th grade in the school, and then we were whisked off to the world. And so I would do my studies at like midnight, send them in. I'd be like, why do I have to do this? But
how'd you send them in back then? Because was there
snail mail?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, it was
no take a
manila
picture.
envelopes. Yep, at the book reports, everything. We're like, here comes one from Des Moines, Iowa. We hope it gets to you. But
Did kids in your own, like, the kids that you grew up with who knew Billy Gilman in 3rd and 4th grade, did they treat you different after that, or were they still normal? Like, hey, Billy.
the ones that really knew me from the start never really changed. They just let me do my thing and got quiet. But there was a lot of harassment. Oh my God, that could be a whole program on its own.
Harassment for being famous from your friends?
Not friends, but people within the school system before I was pulled out. Then going forward, people driving by the house and throwing things. It got crazy.
But
with
for what
the
reason?
fun came the...
Wow, see, nobody knew that.
Yeah, well, for the reason, that's their reasoning. I can't understand it. But for the most part, the friends that knew me as from kindergarten on always stuck by my side, and still to this day. We had a great reconnection a few years back, and it was nice to see, because I was like, I'm just doing my job. I just found it a little quicker than the majority find it. That's it, So it was an interesting path to uphold this attitude, but yet still want for them to know that I want to go outside and play, and have them understand that it is still me. It was interesting.
Your story reminds me a little bit. I was joking that I wanted to do the Barry Gibb talk show, and you were doing some falsetto stuff like Barry. But the Bee Gees had 2 bouts with fame. You
Yeah.
know, if you think about it, they had the '60s when things were nuts and screaming and grabbing their clothes, and then they had this period where they weren't, and then they had the whole disco Saturday Night Fever period where they were. And I was thinking that, okay, so the first time everybody wants a piece of Billy, everybody wants a piece of the person when they're at the top, and then you did this feat twice where you were just like done this superstardom thing. What was it? Was it different with the voice the second time around now that you're older to be able to deal with everyone that wanted a piece of you, or will you do this for me for free? Will you come to this? Will you do that? How do you handle it second time around?
Yeah, I'm annoyed, I'm stressed, I'm nervous more now. It was a game then, I didn't get it.
Oh, all right.
You just show up and you sing one voice. Now I get it. I'm like, ooh, can I have that 11-year-old mentality just for like a month? It's stressful, but it's the same thought process as when I'm sitting with a fellow artist, comedian, actor, singer, dancer. But if they're a name, they go, oh, and someone will come up and they'll be so annoyed that someone came up to them. And I'll blatantly, and we'll have a conversation, and I'll go, look, you chose this. Like a person that is from Providence that has a great job in Boston has to deal with a commute. You deal with what you have to deal with, but of different aspects of a job. Me, I don't really tire of it. I get upset, I get stressed, but the love that I have still, even after all these years, way outweighs that stress. So it does balance itself. It goes off kilter a little bit, but yeah, I see every picture now rather than just, okay,
Right.
you're flying here and you're going to sing. I see, how are we going to get there? What's the budget? Can I bring someone with me? Can I bring my band? What's the weather going to be like? Am I going to sleep in an airport if it goes bad? All these thoughts now into your brain.
We have a lot of people watching, and I wanted to say that in a few minutes, after Billy sings the next song, which we're going to get to in a few minutes, we are going to take some of your questions. So Ben, who's behind the camera, is going to moderate the questions and give us only the best. So they got to be really cool and original questions. So start typing now and start thinking. Original, good questions, not normal questions.
Not a cover song.
He
original.
doesn't like normal. By the way, speaking of cover songs, how do you choose what you want to sing? Like now, like when you go to make a record, or with the stuff that you performed on The Voice, what makes someone go out and what makes Billy say, I want to do my way, or I want to do where fight song?
Well, My Way was totally a request from Adam Levine. I was going to do something totally different. The fight song, what happens on The Voice in that particular moment is they send you a list, like of 50 blank spaces, and they say, can you put 50 songs down that you would love to sing or that you love to listen to? And as you get further on in the thing, they'll swap them, because then maybe you'll end up doing one of them. So then that spot's empty. You have to fill it with another song. So the fight song, When We Were Young, All I Ask, all those songs I so badly wanted my audience to hear, because those aren't songs that I would sing live, because before The Voice, there was this perception of this country boy and whatever, and I knew that wasn't working. I knew that this was just capable of just letting loose, like, what's like Secretariat, let him run his race. That quote?
Yeah.
I needed that moment. And I needed it, especially on The Voice, to make it believable. Because if I were to go on that stage and make believe I am what I was, people would be like, click. So those songs I garnered inspiration from. They touched my heart in a way where I knew I could pull them off. Because I'm really bad at just singing a song. I tune out. It has to mean something to me in some way. So that makes it for a record, for a concert tour, for this. The two songs I'm singing were requested. So that makes it easy on me because I like them both. So it just depends on the moment, but I have to feel it in my heart. Otherwise, it's definitely what you call a throwaway.
We talked about this once before, but so for the people, because there's millions of people that watch The Voice, and I remember there's a story that one of my idols, Paul McCartney, tells about where he was going on the Ed Sullivan Show, and he said he's ready to go do Yesterday, and of course Yesterday was just him, none of the other guys, and he said the curtain wasn't open, and the guy that holds the curtain to open it back then, he's like, there's 60 million people watching. And then the curtains open, and he's like, Yesterday. But so, what do you have?
That's so funny.
I mean, so do you think? I mean, you told me once that the Voice studio is smaller than one would think.
Oh yeah, it's like I don't know how much of the I don't know how much of the stage can they see the seats? Can you all see the seats? It's literally maybe just this one row, but scattered. That's basically it. The stage takes up more than the theater. It's almost like trying to think a quarter of the Warp Musical Theater because it's kind of like in an elongated U.
For those of you in Australia, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you won't know what I'm talking about. The Warp Musical Theater. That's a local theater in Rhode Island that's now since gone. But so yeah, it's very small.
Yeah.
And it was funny just because of my past success with the CMA Awards, with the Grammy Awards, with all that stuff. You get to know program directors and cameramen just because you see them every May at the awards or October. So all of a sudden, I'm singing my audition. Everybody loves the things you do, and I looked down and I said, I think that's Javi. I knew him from 12 years old doing the Academy of Country Music Awards. So I go, you're never going to believe who I am. He goes, yeah, who are you? Because he thought I was just, a contestant. Why am I talking to you? I said, Billy Gilman. I thought he was going to drop his camera. Right? It was so funny to make that connection. Like, I knew it was you. And I said, I need you to do me a favor. I said, I'm going to be nervous as I've ever been. Please shoot me from the waist up because my legs will be shaking. And he honored it for the first 8 seconds. You can go back. But then as I went back and watched it, he shot me from the knees. So going back, I went, you didn't listen to what I said. You do get nervous, 60 million people. It's a real thing.
So when you were working your way up, I mean, you obviously approached The Voice as I'm somebody new. You didn't,
Oh, yeah.
You didn't go in there they recognized you when the chairs turned around, and then one of them, I forgot who it was, recognized you,
Right.
and said, "Oh my God!" And then it went from there. But so how do you put the other stuff away and just go out and pretend? Well, you're not pretending, but just go out and be a contestant without the baggage. You pulled that off, obviously.
Because I don't predicate my life on my past. I'm fortunate to have a great life and a wonderful thing that I've done, but it's as easy as when I got on that stage with that brilliant orchestra and those brilliant musicians and the sound. I completely was just in a new way, and I'm like, it almost felt like a rebirth. And to finally stand there and do the songs that I wanted to do, because I knew America would love it if I got the chance. It totally was a B-side for me, so it was very easy to shut it off. I really never, the only thing I didn't like, and I got a little, in my time, I have my own room, was you have to bunk at certain times during The Voice. I didn't like that. That's when the Billy Gilman card came out in my head. I didn't ever send anything. But I'm like, oof, I'm used to this suite or something.
The red M&Ms, like we had
The
talked
red
about.
M&Ms with the BG logo on them.
It's not true, really.
It's not true, as you can clearly tell.
He's not a jerk. Don't worry. There's plenty of those folks out there in the music world. And you understand, though. You know what? Seriously. You go to a place, you're traveling across the country. They don't realize that you spend so much time traveling, flying, and
Sure.
then the amount of time you're on the stage doing the show is so fleeting.
Right.
So if you ask for a Coke instead of a Pepsi, can't you get it? I mean, come on. And it's not like being a jerk. It's like, I like Coke, and I'm in Akron, and I just would like a Coca-Cola.
Well, the Coke is fizzier. Like, I'm really a Bubbles guy. Like, I like club soda.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Should we? I'm sipping this water going, is this label even supposed to be on there? Like,
Well, they must support the Garde, or the Garde just goes across the street and buys the Evian. So, now listen, I wanted to change things up for a second here before you sing another song, and I wanted to talk about someone that I never had the privilege to know of, but today's a special day because it would have been her 101st birthday, Louise Neistat, and I wanted to read a little something about her for the audience that's out there, so that you can learn who she is, and then we're gonna talk to Billy. Which camera am I supposed to be looking at, Ben? That one? Whatever. That one. Oh,
audience, you should see the people pointing.
Hi, everyone. So Louise was a former Radio City Rockette who taught and inspired generations of dancers. A tap instructor for 70 years, she affected countless others with her incomparable sincerity and charm. Born Louise Grossman on July 9, 1919 in Yonkers, New York, she was the only child of Gertrude and Morris Grossman. At age 10, her mother brought her to Yonkers Dance School. Louise was a chubby kid, and Gertrude thought dance might help. Gertrude was right. Dancing came to define her life. She spent her early years commuting to New York City, working retail at Macy's, selling gloves, and hating every second of it. It was during that time that she tried out for the Radio City Music Hall's Rockettes. And at the very Macy's counter, Louise was approached and asked, "Are you Louise Grossman?" It was then she learned of her acceptance into the Rockettes. She set the gloves down on the counter, and she never looked back. During rehearsal for her Radio City debut, she learned of her father being hospitalized with cancer. She rushed to the hospital, but he died before her arrival. In her haste, she never stopped to take off her tap shoes. A 30-year-old Louise running through the linoleum-clad hallways of the hospital, the metal from her tap shoes making her every step an announcement of her presence. Her father's cancer became a source of motivation for her dancing career. She was with the Rockettes during the early, uncertain years of World War II, touring with the USO, entertaining troops alongside greats like Cary Grant. After 2 years with the Rockettes, at her mother's request, she returned home to Yonkers. And it was then that she met Ephraim Neistat, a man 10 years her senior from New London, where we are right now, and a few years later they were married. Louise began teaching tap immediately upon arriving in New London. Her first year's class had 3 students. She and Ephraim had 2 children, a boy and a girl, ultimately moving to a stone house not far from the beach. Louise Tap School continued to grow, and she had her first tap show in 1966, charging a $2 entry fee and donating the money to cancer research in her father's name. The tap show became an annual event right here at the Garde. Louise was never a woman of great means, but proved to be a great philanthropist, donating over $100,000 to cancer research. And I know that her children are watching actually tonight, Margot and Barry. And so today would be her birthday, and I know that with your manager Angela, she meant a lot too. And tell me about how you knew her, how you came to meet her.
Well, it kind of started through, I met her through Angela. They were doing the huge benefit that was hosted here at this beautiful, brilliant theater. And by ways and means, they had asked, would he be willing to perform? I honestly think, if memory suits me correct, I could be so wrong, Margot. Hope you're doing well. It was like, maybe I'm not going to, maybe I'm going to. It was like an impromptu thing, because I remember being in the audience and coming up and just, for the heck of it, singing. And after that, it spawned, off and on a really great friendship, and I did it a few years after that as well. And I'll never forget, after the tap show, we were all invited back to the residence, where the tap studio is up all the way upstairs. Even her age, she would still climb the stairs and teach lessons. It was remarkable. It taught me a lesson. You got a long way to go. And her love for it was as if she was 20 or 30. She had a twinkle. And I'll never forget, going through life and your own struggles and everything. We were sitting on the couch in her home, and she just randomly looks at me, and she says, you've got some real life that you're going to give to someone, to give to people. And I didn't understand what that meant until coming to grips with who you are and realizing and loving with your whole heart. And hearing those words, it just hit me like a gong, because she saw something in me that I didn't even see at that time, and that was her brilliance. So she was remarkable, and I was honored to be somewhat of a part of her life, and she was just a force of nature.
So you're going to sing a song now for us and for her.
So funny story, the very first time I was on the stage performing was for her. And I sang Crying, and I thought, we'll do the very first song. And then 5 minutes before I got into the theater, thank God I brought my laptop and my editing stuff, her favorite song was this next one. So I said, I think I have the track from The Voice. A different track, but the edit from The Voice. So I got on the internet and downloaded it, and I'll do her favorite song for her, as it is for her birthday. So wish me luck.
All right. Well, we're going to switch to Billy Cam now, and we're going to turn it over to the one and only Billy Gilman to perform for us.
All right. For you. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I've lived a life that's full, traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've laughed and cried. I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think she did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. No, no, not me, for I do it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. That record shows I took the blows and did it yes, it was my way. It's so dry.
That was awesome. You know, I was. It's so weird because there's all these bands, and this is how I think of you. There's all these bands that I have grown up loving, and they were all like, you know, from another generation. And so you see them now, and they're still awesome and all. But you know, it's not when they were whatever that was when they started. And it was really cool to watch you, who's younger than me, and to have heard you then. But right now, it's like you are in like your voice is like you're in like the prime of your life with your voice, and you just I don't know what it is, but it just like your voice is amazing, you know, and I don't say that to a lot of people,
you.
but you're it's awesome. I know everybody
man.
out there watching agrees with me too, and you deserve the success you got from
We
the
all
voice.
do. Thank you.
But
I
you really
appreciate
do.
that.
You really
Thank
do.
you.
And I don't blow smoke often, Billy.
No, I've seen you other shows.
So I don't know what that means, but I'm going to go get a broom now. And we're going to take some questions now from all the people watching. Oh, before we do that, we got to talk about the first live concert you're going to do in a long time, which is going to be
Yes.
in Musquamacket Beach, which is one of the places we're broadcasting right now. Billy
right.
Gilman's going to be at the drive-in.
I mean, talk about a new adventure, right?
It's the way around the whole safety.
Ways and means of COVID.
It's true, because the first thing the governors in a lot of states started doing was saying, well, you can go to the drive-in because you're kind of safe there. You're in your car, or you sit outside your car, whatever. So we started seeing that there was a resurgence in drive-ins, and we have this drive-in in Musquamacket that we were
Yes.
doing like a couple nights a week. Well, now we're going 7 nights a week. We got people playing
That's
all the time.
amazing.
It's crazy. So people come, and they can come in their car. You can sit outside your car.
And I was so happy that I'm not the first one, so they got all the kinks worked out.
We did.
If there were any.
We had one of our guests that's been on the show, John Ford Coley from England Dan, and John Ford Coley played the other night. And the day after Billy plays, Peter Noon from Herman's Hermits. Talk about like
Wow.
generational. So you're gonna be on the stage the night before Peter. But so July
That's cool.
25th, and if people want to get tickets, you just go to mbadrivein.com. That's mbadrivein.com, and you can purchase tickets to Billy in concert. So let's just sell the rest of the show out tonight because you're all watching. So that's really cool. And what are you going to do down there? You're going to come out. You haven't played in so long. What songs are you going to pick?
I know. I'm excited. See what the thing is, and to all the people watching that aren't in Rhode Island,
Just get a plane and
right?
come.
You'll be able to see it in ways. You'll be able to see it. I'll lead up to it as the days grow shorter, or as the time grows shorter.
As the nights grow longer.
As the nights grow longer. My favorite time of the year. So I was supposed to do a show in Columbus or something, but all of a sudden these venues, now there's an uptick in spike in cases, so those venues shut down again and it's rescheduled to another date. So I wasn't originally supposed to do this. This wasn't supposed to be my first show back. So I just think it's so cool to get on a stage again, other than like this, but have people honking and hopefully clapping in my home state. I think that is so cool. And so I really formulated, this one's just going to be a party. My job, in my opinion, is, of course, everyone wants to hear those My Ways and Surrenders and all that, one voice. But I love doing those up-tempo fun songs like Kid Rock's All Summer Long, Journey, Don't Stop Believin', Watermelon Sugar, Harry Styles' new hit. Just fun, jamming out, having a great time in the summer kind of vibe. So it's a totally different show, really, really up and fun. And I'm excited. I feel good about it. So it's going to be fun. It's not going to be like a night of, ballads. And now the end is near.
We have a covering in case it rains. We got really
cool.
creative because we had to build this stage. I mean, how do you make a drive-in a venue for music?
Sure.
So we built the stage. We did this whole thing, and then of course we're going to project you up onto the screen so that people in the back who can't see where they can see you on the screen. And then we had to figure out how do we cover this if it rains. So
True.
we literally, this is so cool. We used it last night. We have an inflatable shell. And it looks really cool, and it comes with lights in it and everything.
No way.
No, I swear to God, it actually looks really cool. It's
Very neat.
Yeah, so
but it's not going to rain. So
no, it's not going to rain. But we really got creative, because it's like, how do you do this? And all of a sudden, all these other artists, and then once we announced you were playing, all these other artists are like, can we play at the drive-in? And it's become this thing.
Great.
Even the Newport Folk Festival is going to do something at our drive-in, which is a huge event,
Oh,
a
of
huge
course.
festival.
Oh my gosh,
So they're
that's
going to do
awesome.
something. So it's really cool. But I take away from the people's time here. So we want to. Who's
No,
gonna?
that was important. We
It
want you
was.
to come and have a good time.
Yes.
It's my first musical experience out to you guys, and hopefully it'll be your first. Come, it's going to be different than you think, so we're going to have a fun time.
It is honk honk. It's good. So Angela's got to come over here.
Oh, no
Angela.
way. We got
on.
Vanna White.
Yeah, come over. Come on, Ange. It doesn't
Come
matter.
on, Vanna.
Come over here.
Do I have to keep my mask on?
No, it's
We
all
took our
right.
temperatures. We did everything, everybody.
We
We're
did.
good.
All right.
You got to sit down because you're so tall.
Thanks.
How does it look, by the way? Is it okay?
It looks great. And the questions I have to kind of remember them now because they're kind of gone. But they want to know who cut your jeans.
It was me in a fit of rage when I didn't come in first on The Voice.
But now,
No, I'm kidding.
but speaking of that, you were okay with that.
Oh, big time. I did not.
I wasn't. No, I'm kidding.
I did not. I don't know if they can hear you.
Oh, is that right?
Can you hear her?
She could be this close. We've been together throughout the whole Corona lockdown, so we're
I'll
safe.
repeat the question.
But yes, I was totally okay with second. I did not want to win. I knew that if I were to go forward, because they sit you down and you have meetings with the record label that's hosting the show and all. The main focus for all of them is to have a great reality show. And I was like, I don't want to have that contract. So I got everything that the winner got, but the freedom he didn't. So that's exactly what I hoped and prayed for. So I was just being funny. If people don't get my humor by now, it's a lost
get it.
lost cause.
Yeah.
They've already tuned out. What's another question we got there? Anything?
Oh, they want to know how you're handling the pandemic.
Handling the pandemic.
They
It's
want to know
great.
how you're handling the pandemic, Billy.
It's great. I'm with my family. No, it's great. I mean, listen, you have a bad day, you go and you scream into your pillow. I don't know.
I actually asked him that today myself.
Yeah.
I said, how you doing?
I have to say, all of this makes up for not being in front of something that I crave, and that's my audience. That's my fans. That's my friends. If it's a local show, I'm actually doing great. You know what? Like I said, I've really, really brought home the virtual concerts, the social media. So it's been fun, and I have the best family, and we laugh all the time, and I have to say I'm very fortunate in that aspect. So it hasn't been crazy yet.
We actually have a little bit of an audience because we have camera people and sound people. So there's something here. And my 2 children are sitting in the audience.
that who they are?
Yeah, they're going
They're
to.
like in Florida. They're so far away.
I said to Maddie and Leah, shh, go over there.
So,
They-
so another question. So if you had your choice, who right now would you want to do a duet with? Who would be your choice?
Barbara Streisand.
I could answer that.
That would be forever and a day.
so, Babs, if you're watching, it's not too late. Billy is available.
But I like his name just went out of my head because that's how my brain works. I almost forgot her name 20 seconds ago.
He wants to do a duet with good old what's his name?
When the day bleeds and the night falls, that guy, Alec Benjamin. I think that's is it. Kids, is it Alec Benjamin? You know that name? They're youth. They should know. They're young.
They're looking at you like,
They're like, what is he? Who is this person on stage?
No,
with my
I
father?
swear. Listen, I swear to God, as we were driving over here, Maddie said, "Put on Billy Gilman." So we
see,
listened to
that's a good
Soldier.
Checks in the mail. No, but Alec Benjamin, he has a great voice, and it's so like I can really like. I sang one of his songs during one of my virtual Friday shows. Great singer. Like I am so loving that so many artists now right now are going back to like not a little. It's not heavy auto tuned. Like Adele really kind of pioneered that, like very raw vocals, and I like that I'm seeing so many people follow because it's all about the emotion, not the perfection.
So Barbara Streisand, like what? So what are some of like your favorite Barbara Streisands? Have you ever get to see her in concert?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was invited by her producer Richard J. Alexander. So funny story about that. This could be a 2-hour show with how I
We're
talk.
not on a time limit. No, you shouldn't leave. Hang out.
So wait. So I'm at The Voice, and when you're on The Voice, another little insight, you are locked down. You cannot. You have a little timetable. Billy Gilman going to Starbucks 8:30 a.m. Billy Gilman comes back home to the hotel room 7:13, 9:30 a.m. You are completely. You can't. I tried to sneak out and get an ice cream, and
No.
I got reprimanded. It's very, very, very strict because you're someone's child and the liability. I get it. So I'm in lockdown. I get a phone call. Hello, it's Richard J. And I knew exactly who that was. And I said, that's Streisand's producer. And we were on our way to the Studio City backlot to rehearse, and I saw this huge poster, Streisand live at the Staples Center. She was doing a show. I'm like, oh my God, look at that. No word of lie, 2 weeks later, I got a phone call. Where are you? I'm only like 20 minutes away, but I don't think I can come. So I flew to the production office and I said, I got a ticket to see the living legend. I probably will never get that chance again. And they went, okay, you can go. It was so cool to know that I got, probably was one of the only people that got to go. But yeah, she's when I love her obscure songs, not the ones like, The Way We Were, and those are great, but I like By the Way.
But you could do Guilty Part 2 with her.
No,
How grand we are. You got to do the hand.
he does it better than I do.
Little by little, we meet in the middle. No, am I wrong? Come on, do
He's
the
got all the
Barbara
words.
part.
It ought to be illegal.
All right, sorry. Next question. I apologize, people. We're just going
just
crazy.
having fun.
We're
Hope
at the
you're-
Garde
hope
in
you're
New
having
London.
fun.
Anyway, how about your favorite venue? Do you have
Oh,
one?
the Garde in New
The
London.
Garde in New London. I've never done a concert here yet.
Steve.
Yet.
Steve.
Oh,
There's many venues that
yeah,
are
too
fun.
many to pick, right?
Yeah, too many. It's like picking your favorite song, kind of. I mean, there's so many throughout my years. There's a beautiful theater up in Niagara Falls, New York. That's really, I always just remembered that because it was semi-round, which I love. It's intimate. I don't know. There's a lot.
What about like the most kind of, what's the word? Like the most hairy one, like the one where you're kind of like, oh my God, like this is like, where am I performing? Like there was this thing last year where I think it was like Ringo or something. I always go back to the Beatles, sorry, Ange. And he was performing
stuff
on
to
this.
go back
He was
to.
performing on this platform like 1,000 feet above people. Any
gosh.
performances you've ever done that you're kind of like, really? Or have they all been cool?
Some of them are weird. Like I did one in Dallas, and it was in a band shell, and there was band shell, concrete, like 2-lane road, and lawn. No one was allowed to go on the concrete. So I'm literally singing to people 700 feet away from me, and I'm like, this is very strange. I was there that night.
I have a little story for you.
I don't know if they can hear you, but
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Well, he got asked to do the Michael Jackson show in was Washington. It was the Robert F. Kennedy Theater. So he goes
Stadium.
out. How? Yeah, that's right. Stadium. How many thousands of people were there? And
But that's not awkward. I was on
No,
he
I
means
know.
like on a forklift
No,
or
but
something.
listen, what happened to him? This is awkward. What happened to him? So, how old were you there? What, 12?
I upgraded. I was 4.
No,
No, I was 14.
I don't know. You were still very young.
Yeah.
All I know is he goes out on the
Early
stage,
teens, I guess.
and he starts to sing, and there's mechanical difficulty. The track just dies.
Oh.
So he's, he's not that experienced. So I'm in the wings. He looks at me, and I just go, just keep singing. So now they stop it, and they start it again. So he starts to sing again. It goes off. So I look at him, and I go, and I signal them over there, like that. Don't play it. And I go, sing. He sang the whole one voice by himself. 50,000 people jumped out of their seats, roaring. And
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Well, but he did it. He got through it. And when Michael Jackson called us to go into his dressing room and with his little kids and commended him for what he did.
Yeah, actually, he was one of the coolest people I've ever met.
Wow.
The apprehension before is what everyone thinks, but he was one of the most genuine people I've ever met, and I psych into things even when I was young. You can attest to that.
Yes.
I always had that little interrogation side of me wherever it came from, whoever I
Yeah.
got it from, and I never felt 1 ounce of something
was
could happen,
awesome.
he was just nothing but class, just a mega star, and with that comes a lot of stuff.
Now, you don't tell this story often, but you performed at the Michael Jackson show around the time of 9/11.
Yeah, the
What
day
was-
before.
So was that at Madison Square Garden?
Correct.
And is that when the Jackson 5 reunited and it was
Yeah.
that was a big HBO special, right?
Yep,
So
absolutely.
how did you end up getting called to be there?
So I was coming home from a road thing, and I was in bed, and there's a frantic knock on the door. So
Can we
I-
let's see.
oh yeah, even like wackier than
Okay,
that,
all right,
because
all right.
I still was living at home, and my door kind of like shut, but there was a little give, so it would be like like it was a double knock. So
How'd that go again?
come and shake your body, baby, do the conga. So I go hello, and my mother, the door flies open. It's my mother with the phone. Michael Jackson's on the phone. Someone got our number. It's a prank. I went hello. I went hello. Click. She went, no, I honestly think that was Michael Jackson. The phone rings again, and it was his assistant Evie. And she said, can you please hold for Michael Jackson? And I went, whoops. He gets on the phone. I go, I'm so sorry. He says, no, it happens often. Come to find out, management teams got together. He got my phone number from the management company and asked me to perform his hit in the 70s, Ben, the two of us, we live no more, on the show. There were 2 shows, Friday and a Monday. I had stuff Saturday and Sunday, and I had stuff to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in Los Angeles. So we said, yep, we'll come Friday, we'll do it. That wasn't the taped version. That was kind of like a dress rehearsal for the kinks to the cameras and all that. Monday was the real taping.
There was an issue with the sound.
Yeah.
With your
So
sound.
all of a sudden we get another phone call. From Friday night, the first taping, we come back to Rhode Island. I do this amazing thing. Thank you for the fans and friends that put it on in my hometown, Billy Gilman Day. We get a phone call. There was something wrong, but he wasn't supposed to be on the broadcast, but we loved it. Can you guys come back Sunday night, Monday, and tape it Monday? I have to fly out from Boston to L.A. to do the Philharmonic, a night of saluting movies at the Hollywood Bowl. That's a huge deal. We really can't. So Angela says to the producer, no word of lie, she says, I will get him to you if you promise he makes the taping. And he said, you have my word.
Final cut. You know how you go on the floor?
Because, things are edited out, mixed.
Believe me, I know how you go on
Right?
the floor. Happens all the
He's gotta
time.
Make the final cut. We'll do it.
So we did, and we thought, let's not cancel the reservation. Maybe if we get out of Madison Square Garden soon enough, we can take the limo from New York to Boston, fly out with that flight, and make it to L.A. Well, the show was going on. It was midnight. We're like, we're just going to call it a night. We were given a suite in a New York hotel.
His suite. He gave it to us.
So we woke up, and bam, 9/11's going on. So we're scurrying out of there. Come to find out, the cell service was down. My mother couldn't get to us. She thought we had gone to Boston in the night because we didn't say goodnight. If it wasn't for Michael, we would have been on that flight, and that's just
Flight 11 out of
so her number was just being lit up by all like ABC, CBS, NBC. We want to quote. Just makes the hair on the
He
back of my
literally
neck
saved
stand
our
up. But
lives.
yeah, so And I never got to tell him that.
I know.
But it's a great that I'm indebted to that show.
So it's hard to follow that story but and change the tone. But let's stick with Michael for a second.
Yeah.
And we're going to go back and you find me another question there,
no,
Ange.
I'm-
No, we got to find us one more question. Come on, don't be. You're not. I'm too shy. She's too
Yeah.
shy.
I don't know where that word came from.
You were out there performing before this kid came along. So what is it about Michael? Like, there's just certain people that come along in a lifetime. Elvis, of Michael Jackson. He's an inspiration for so many. What was it for you that I mean, how old were you when you found out who Michael Jackson was?
Oh, young, because it was the Moonwalk the movie. Very, very like Pam Tillis age, 5, 6. His what really it wasn't his voice, Free Willy. I remember that as a kid.
Was that You Are Not a
No,
that's
hold me
yeah,
like the da 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 da. It was not his voice.
Billy Covers Michael is coming soon.
Next record, when lockdown's released. But it was his mini movies. That's what I would just watch them, and I would think as a kid that they were an hour, 2 hours long when they were like 15 minutes.
Right.
His mini movie music videos is what just really turned me on to Michael Jackson. The Thriller one, the one where his legs go like this, Smooth Criminal. Just those things were unbelievable to me. So I was a fan very early on.
I even liked his last hit, "You Rock My World."
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like he had been gone for a while, and then he
That
came
was
back.
around the time that we were
Right.
in, cahoots with him.
I love that special because I mean, just to see him do the old dance moves again for
know.
"I Want You Back" and ABC, or I don't know what exactly.
And
it
the
was
fan
definitely "I Want You
coming
Back."
up, he's like, with the brothers around him, and it was to be there though. It was just like, what? That is one moment I wish I was a little older, so I could have taken it all. I mean, literally, I was the second performer, and the first performance are lining up. 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by, 15 minutes goes by. Usher's in place, Maya's in place. I didn't know who was coming else. I thought this was it. We're waiting. Now there's there's a vibe going on, and I'm like, oh, she's standing with me right at the little pillars. We're waiting for Whitney Houston, and she's not showing up. All of a sudden, she comes in with about 15 people, just, Whitney style, and the show went on. So, I mean, here I am, I just wish I could have soaked it in more to know that she was from me to you away. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
He pulled out the stops when he got those stars,
Well, he could.
Absolutely. After all.
You don't say no. It's like Sinatra. If he calls you, you go.
Yep.
What else we got from the fans out there?
They said, this one said, what advice would you give a young artist that's looking to break into the music business?
I hope you like plumbing.
The trades.
No, trades. No. It is the one thing I say is it has to come from your whole heart. America is very, very smart if you're trying to sell them something. I learn that daily. If it's truly, truly what you are, there are so many peaks and valleys. No one's career just goes straight forward. And if you have, it all comes down to the passion. Like, there are so many moments in my career that were so horrific and scary and unsure. But the love and the understanding that this is what is to be, it pushed me through. So if it's all you are and all you drink up in your life, you will survive because you will go through the motions knowing the intent is always just to be a singer. So if it's what you are, go for it.
And as a trainer, I will say to any kid, it has to be their passion.
Yeah.
Big time passion, and he lives and breathes it from when they, little. Well, I just got this, I got to say, they're thinking Musquamaket is sold out.
No.
No, that's the first lot. The second lot is,
So
Second lot's open.
There's
Yeah.
2 lots. Cast your lot. There's 2 lots. The first one is sold out, and because we have 2, whatever. So the overflow lot is still open. So if you get to the one that says sold out, you got to go the one below it. So go to mbadrivein.com and you will see the second overflow lot. He already sold the first one out pretty quick, so we had to add more tickets.
But the screen is so big, and it's big but intimate. And I mean, you're going to be in your car. And the coolest thing is, if you have a brand new
you know,
car,
America knows when you're trying to sell them something.
No, right. But the cool thing is, I didn't understand. Like me, stupid me, I thought everyone was going to get those little
Oh
Like-
my! Oh, like in the
Boxes.
'60s.
I
Yeah.
swear to God, that's what I thought people were going to
Billy
get
Gibb,
because
like, one voice.
this is caller on the line. You know, it's so cool. You can stream it through your radio. So if you have Bose, it's going to sound like you're at.
Well, there's two things actually. We have like an actual sound system. So if you're
Yes.
outside of your car, it's going to be like you're at a regular concert.
Yeah.
But if you're way in the back, if you happen to have the last spot, you tune your radio station in and bring it through your speakers. So you will. There's not going to be any crackling voices
And if you are in the last spot, I will come to your car and wave by your window
with a mask.
with the
with the
mask.
mask.
Yep, it's right here. With my spray, I got it all. Believe me.
Since it's going to be hard to do the meet and greets and stuff, we're going to have to
Right.
get some T-shirts or something from to chuck out to you. We're going to do so. We'll figure something out.
It's already
One
covered.
of those potato guns.
No, that I don't have, but I do have shirts I could throw out.
Oh, good. All right, that's good.
There you go.
We got time for one more
One
question.
more question.
Hope you guys are enjoying this.
So many.
Because
Thank you.
we got a video to show you in a minute, too.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Did you see yourself where you are today musically when you were younger, or did you have other thoughts in mind?
I wanted to sing the songs that I was doing on The Voice from the get-go. I just, the best way I can describe it is when you're 4 and 5 and 6 years old and you go to school, say, your parents pick your shoes, they pick the color of your sweatshirt, they form you, and then you go off, and then you get older, and you say, no, I want to wear those black shoes instead of those orange shoes or whatever. That kind of is what happened. As I got older, I'm like, yeah, my voice, I really want to sing this Celine Dion song or this Adele song or this my Queen Freddie Mercury song. So I got to do all that on the Voice, and that is what I just love, just to stand and sing and not worry about, oh, am I living up to this image, So the thought of what I wanted to do, I got to do it on The Voice, definitely, and still going forward.
So we have a video that we want to show.
I got one question.
Oh, sure. Steve's
Yeah.
got a question.
Will you open up for us when we can have an audience in this hall once again?
Of course.
So the question that Steve just asked for those at home is that, will Billy open up for us, meaning the Guard, when they're allowed to open up again? And he just said, of course.
I'd be honored.
And then obviously I get 10% since I'm...
What a party that'll be. Woo! I hope sooner or later than later.
Steve, can I introduce him on stage in front of the live audience?
Yes.
Okay. That was not his
You know the craziest thing? I wonder if, what is that going to be like?
10%.
Will we have to wear a mask still? It's just a crazy world, and if nothing else, I hope everybody's staying safe. I know there's a lot of different thought processes going on in the world, but, like I say to the people that have such a hard time understanding the mask, I go, I had a guy standing in front of me in the line, and he's like, dude, why do you wear the mask? I'm like, have you ever held a door for somebody? And he looked at me, and I said, have you held the door for an older gentleman, an older lady, a kid? He says, yeah. I said, did that help you in any way? And he said, not really. And I said, but did it help them? He said, yeah. I said, it's the kindness of it. That's the bigger picture here. So I hope everyone's staying safe and, it's just be safe and be smart.
Well, we want to thank everybody that's made this happen, especially the Guard.
Yes, thank you.
And the Guard is going to have some wonderful programming as soon as they're allowed to. But in the meantime, they've gotten very creative with things like this. So I think we can be looking forward to some more of this kind of stuff. I think the live streaming from the Guard is really awesome. So hopefully you'll see some more things that are happening here as well as all around. But we wanted to definitely end with a video. So tell me about Say You Will. So why is that significant for us being here in New London?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've worked, everything in More Susie. So 4 videos. I've worked with a fabulous company called Firesight Films out of New London. I think they're in Niantic now. Alec Aston is such a brilliant, humble, generous kind of a human being. And he did a video for me in 2004, and then all the way to my most recent one called Soldier. This video, I had the idea to go not of a storyline, but more of the beauty of a city. And he said, well, my town of New London is gorgeous, and we probably maybe can even get in the Garde Theater and make it look like you're in an empty theater singing to yourself. And they had the smoke billowing in the silhouette, and it was kind of like Michael Jackson-esque if you lack the moves. But it was very MJ, right? So we shot the video, and it was 6 degrees the entire day. Of course, we had to pick the coldest day of the year. It was so cold. So when we finally got the green light to come into the theater, it was like a thaw out, But the video, if you haven't seen it, is so beautifully done. The aesthetics, the aerial shots of the train station, of the ocean, of the Guard. they did a remarkable job representing New London, and yeah, I mean, it's just so neat to be here because of Louise, because of this video, and I think we thought, why not end the show?
Why not end the show?
Showing,
with a
and it
video?
did well. It has over 1 million views on YouTube, over about 2 million spins on Spotify. So, and I co-wrote the song, so I appreciate that very much.
Well, thank you, Billy, for
Thanks, buddy.
being here.
Thanks, everybody.
And-
Crew, thank you.
And the crew, and we're going to end with the video, and we will see you all next time. So on behalf of Billy Gilman, his ripped pants, my pink shirt, I'm Caswell Cook. See you next time.
See you July 25th.
That's right. Hopefully.
Today when I see your lipstick stain on my last night's shirt, it cues my brain to think about you every second or two. I always knew if I could find a girl who sees the way I see the world, I'd give her my life. Will you give me your life? Say you will. Wade out into the water. Breathe in, breathe out with me. You be the words to an unwritten song. I'll be the melody. Don't let your lips be still. Say you will. Picture this, me and you, little house with a Rembrandt view of this country town as the sun drops down. And on the other side of that window pane, a storm might spin that weather vane, but we can rise above if you feel my